5:17 a.m. local time, Strait of Hormuz, 16 nautical miles north of the Oman coast. The tanker, Stena Imperative, cuts through calm water, U.S. flagged, commercial cargo, bridge watch established, radar scope displays routine traffic. Dawn light spreads across the Persian Gulf. The passage is known, the lane is clear. Then the radar tone changes, sharp return. Bearing northeast, range 12,000 yards. The operator marks the contact. Then another, and another. 6 small craft, speed, high. The operator's hand moves to the intercom, captain to the bridge. The captain steps to the radar display. His eyes track the contacts, not following commercial patterns, not fishing boats, moving directly toward the tanker. Speed calculates at 35 knots, bearing constant, range closing, increase monitoring frequency. This is Falks. Subscribe for more real-time naval analysis and high-stakes maritime breakdowns. The Stena Imperative continues southwest, speed 14 knots, commercial mission. But the contacts are not commercial. At 0521 hours, visual confirmation, 6 small boats, IRGC fast attack craft, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, deck-mounted machine guns visible, crews in military uniform. The boats move in coordinated formation, 3 pairs. Geometry, deliberate. Tactical, range, 8,000 yards, closing. The captain reaches for the radio. USS McFall, Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, operating 15 nautical miles east. The transmission is brief. Professional. USS McFall, Stena Imperative. 6 IRGC boats bearing northeast, range 8,000, speed 35 knots, intercept course. Request assistance. 3 seconds of static. Stena Imperative, McFall. Copy all. Increasing speed, ETA 16 minutes. The destroyer's engines surge, 30 knots, then 32. At 0523 hours, the VHF radio activates on Stena Imperative's bridge. The voice is calm. English, professional. Commercial vessel, this is Iranian Naval Authority. Stop your engines. Prepare to be boarded. The captain checks the GPS. Oman's Maritime Economic Zone. International waters. Confirmed. He does not respond. Increase speed to maximum practical. The tanker accelerates. 16 knots. Maximum sustainable. Course unchanged. Southwest. The radio transmission goes unanswered. Range to Iranian boats, 6,000 yards. The boats maintain pursuit, 35 knots. The gap closes despite the tanker's acceleration. Formation holds. Each pair separated by 200 yards. Practiced. Coordinated. Inside the bridge, the first officer activates video recording. The radar display is captured digitally, every emission logged, every bearing recorded. At 0526 hours, the radio repeats. Stop engines immediately. Prepare for boarding inspection. Silence from Stena Imperative. The captain monitors the radar, 4,000 yards. Geometry shows interception. Time to contact 4 minutes at current speeds. USS McFall is 8 nautical miles distant. Speed, 30 knots. Time to intercept, 16 minutes. The math is clear. The Iranian boats will reach the tanker first. The Iranian boats reach 3,000 yards. At 0529 hours, something joins the hunt. The radar operator detects a 7th contact. Airborne. Altitude, 2,000 feet. Speed, 80 knots. Signature identifies as small UAV. Iranian Mahajer drone. Surveillance platform. The drone orbits overhead, station keeping above the boat formation. The captain transmits update. McFall Imperative. 7 hostile contacts, 6 surface, 1 aerial. All IRGC. Range 2,000 yards. Imperative McFall copies. Air support requested. ETA 12 minutes. 2,000 yards becomes 1,500. On the bridge of Stena Imperative, crew can see the boats without magnification. Small, fast, maneuverable. Approximately 45 feet length. Open deck configuration. Armed crews visible. 3-axis approach. Lead pair angles toward port bow. Second pair targets starboard. Third pair trails astern. Range, 1,200 yards. The radio activates again. Same transmission. Identical phrasing. No escalation in tone. Professional. Measured. But the boats continue closing. The captain does not deviate. The chief engineer confirms engines operating maximum sustainable output. Fuel consumption elevated. Acceptable. The tanker can maintain this speed indefinitely. The Iranian boats will not. Range, 1,000 yards. At 0534 hours, USS McFall appears on radar. Close range. The destroyer closed the distance faster than calculated. Speed exceeds 32 knots. The Arleigh Burke class displaces 9,200 tons. Length, 509 feet, and /ESPY-1 radar, 90 vertical launch cells, 5-inch gun, phalanx CIWS, Aegis combat system. The warship's presence alters geometry immediately. USS McFall positions between the tanker and approaching boats. The Iranian boats are now 800 yards from Stena Imperative. USS McFall is at 400 yards, directly blocking the approach vector. The destroyer's bridge transmits on International Maritime Emergency Frequency. Iranian vessels, this is United States Navy warship. Maintain safe distance from U.S. distance. Flagged commercial vessel. Acknowledge this transmission. No verbal response, but behavior changes. The lead pair reduces speed. 30 knots. Formation loosens. Pairs increase separation to 300 yards. The advance slows. USS McFall maintains position. The AN/SPY-1 radar system tracks all surface contacts simultaneously. Fire control radar active, weapon systems in ready status. The 5-inch Mk-45 gun trains on the nearest Iranian boat. The Mohajer drone continues overhead. At 053, 7 hours, Stena Imperative crosses behind USS McFall's protective position. The tanker continues southwest, speed unchanged. The destroyer matches course and speed. Barrier position maintained between commercial vessel and Iranian boats. Range: Iranian boats 600 yards from USS McFall, 1,200 yards from Stena Imperative. Inside USS McFall's Combat Information Center, operators monitor tactical display. 7 contacts marked hostile Cloud. 3 friendly, destroyer, tanker, inbound air support. The CIC is silent except for technical communications. Status updates flow in disciplined sequence. The captain of USS McFall issues orders from the bridge. Maintain current heading. Match commercial vessel's speed. Weapons tight. Observe and report. Aye, Captain. Condition 1. All stations manned. Tactical, confirm weapon status. Phalanx tracking, VLS armed. Fire control active. The destroyer's presence delivers the message without firing a shot. At 0540 hours, the Iranian boats detect something overhead. U.S. Air Force fixed-wing aircraft. 2 jets, altitude 15,000 feet. The aircraft establish racetrack pattern above the strait. Radio contact with USS McFall confirmed. McFall Viper flight. On station. Visual contact with surface vessels. Ready. Viper flight, McFall. Copy. Maintain patrol, defensive posture. The Iranian boats maintain distance. 600 yards from destroyer. Speed reduced to 25 knots. Formation holds but does not advance. 3 pairs parallel the tanker's course. No longer intercept vector. The Mohajer drone adjusts altitude, 3,000 feet. Still circling, still observing. USS McFall maintains escort. Radar operators log every movement. Iranian boat 1, bearing 045, range 650 yards, speed 24 knots. Iranian boat 2, bearing 048, range 680 yards, speed 24 knots. Data streams continuously to CIC. Every parameter recorded, every decision documented. At 054, 3 hours, Iranian radio transmission ceases. No further demands, no further communications. The boats hold position relative to destroyer. Standoff stable. Stena Imperative continues southwest. The tanker has traveled 3.2 nautical miles since initial contact. Course unchanged. Speed steady. Bridge crew maintains heightened watch. Immediate threat stabilized. Above, Air Force jets maintain patrol. Fuel for 90 minutes station time. Continue escort. Monitor all contacts. Maintain readiness posture. The destroyer remains between tanker and boats. Gap does not close. Geometry holds. No weapons fired. No physical contact. Iranian demand to board, not executed. U.S. flag tanker has not stopped. Standoff continues without violence. At 0548 hours inside the CIC, the atmosphere tightens. The Iranian boats begin new maneuver. Lead pair increases speed. 28 knots. Bearing change. 10 degrees to starboard. Movement subtle, deliberate. Testing. The pair moves to flank USS McFall's position. Tactical Action Officer notes change immediately. Contact 1 and 2, altering course. Possible flanking attempt. The captain does not hesitate. Come right 15 degrees, increase speed to 18 knots. Maintain barrier position. The destroyer adjusts. 9,200 tons responds smoothly. Helm executes turn with precision. USS McFall remains directly between Iranian boats and Stena Imperative. Flanking attempt blocked. The Iranian lead pair holds new course for 40 seconds, then returns to original bearing. Speed reduces to 25 knots. Formation reconsolidates. Test complete. USS McFall has demonstrated mobility. Tactical awareness. Message received. At 0551 hours, second pair attempts similar probe. Bearing shift, 8 degrees port. Speed increase, 30 knots. Duration, 35 seconds. USS McFall adjusts again. Come left 12 degrees, maintain barrier. The destroyer's captain orders port turn. Barrier maintained. Iranian boats return to formation. No radio transmissions accompany these maneuvers. No warnings issued. Communication purely tactical. Movement and counter-movement. Each side demonstrates capability without escalation. Overhead, Hazardous drone continues orbit. U.S. Air Force jets maintain altitude. Aerial standoff mirrors surface engagement. Presence, observation, readiness, no aggression. Stena Imperative has traveled 5 nautical miles since initial contact, approaching narrowest point of Strait of Hormuz. Width here, 21 nautical miles. Half within Oman territorial waters, half within Iran's. Shipping lanes thread center. International waters. Tanker remains in legal corridor. USS McFall continues escort. Range to Iranian boats, 700 yards. Distance stabilized. Neither side advances. Neither withdraws. At 055, tactical geometry shifts. The Iranian boats reduce speed, 20 knots. Then 15 knots. Formation begins to spread. Tight pairs loosen. Separation increases to 400 yards between boats. Coordinated aggression softens into individual maneuvering. USS McFall maintains escort speed, 14 knots, matched to Stena Imperative. The destroyer does not accelerate, does not maneuver, holds steady position. Iranian boats continue to slow. At 0558 hours, lead pair executes turn. Bearing, northeast, back toward Iranian coast. Speed, 18 knots. The pair breaks from formation. Range to Stena Imperative begins opening. 800 yards, 1,000, 1,500. Second pair follows 90 seconds later. Same maneuver, same bearing. Northeast. Boats accelerate once turn completes. Speed increases to 25 knots. Return to Iranian waters deliberate. Controlled. At 0601 hours, third pair turns away. All 6 boats now heading northeast. Away from tanker. Away from USS McFall, harassment ended. Withdrawal complete. Range, 2,000 yards and opening. Hazardous drone maintains overhead station 3 additional minutes. Then drone also turns northeast. Altitude decreases to 1,500 feet. Unmanned aircraft follows surface boats back toward Iranian airspace. USS McFall's radar operators log departure. 6 surface contacts departing. 1 aerial departing. All headings toward Iranian coast. No hostile actions during withdrawal. Encounter classified, de-escalated. At 0605 hours, Iranian boats at 5,000 yards. Still visible on radar. Still moving away. Speed, 28 knots. ETA to Iranian territorial waters, 8 minutes. Stena Imperative continues on course. Tanker has not altered heading throughout entire encounter. Speed remains 14 knots. Destination, Port Sithra, Bahrain. Commercial mission continues without interruption. At 0609 hours, the pattern completes itself. Iranian boats cross into their own territorial waters, 12 nautical miles from Iranian coast. Boats no longer visible to USS McFall's lookouts. Radar contact remains at extreme range, 12,000 yards. Same distance at which encounter began, 52 minutes. Full cycle. USS McFall continues escort. Destroyer will accompany Stena Imperative until tanker reaches Bahrain territorial waters. Estimated escort duration, 4 hours. Warship maintains heightened readiness. Weapon systems remain ready status. Immediate threat passed. Air Force assets depart station at 0612 hours. McFall, Viper flight. Mission complete. Returning to base. Viper flight, McFall. Copy. Safe flight. Fuel state requires return. Aircraft climb to cruising altitude. Turn southeast. USS McFall's captain secures from condition 1 at 0615. All stations secure from condition 1. Set condition 2. Normal watch rotation. Combat stations reduced. Watch sections rotate. CIC reduces manning to standard levels, but destroyer's radar continues full surveillance. Strait of Hormuz requires constant vigilance. At 0620 hours, Stena Imperative's captain transmits gratitude. McFall, Imperative, thank you for your assistance. Continuing to Bahrain. Imperative, McFall. You're welcome. We'll stay with you. Safe passage. No elaboration required. Escort continues in silence. Tanker has cleared Strait of Hormuz. Open waters of Persian Gulf stretch ahead. Shipping traffic density increases. Commercial vessels of multiple nationalities visible on radar. Maritime environment returns to routine. but documentation of encounter is extensive. USS McFall's CIC has recorded complete engagement. Radar tracks archived, radio communications logged, video footage captured from destroyer's bridge cameras. Time-stamped, GPS coordinated. Data transmitted to U.S. Central Command within 20 minutes of de-escalation. Tactical report is detailed. Every Iranian boat's movement plotted. Every course change noted. Every speed variation recorded. U.S. CENTCOM issues public statement. Release confirms encounter. Identifies vessels involved. States Iranian Revolutionary Guard boats and Mohajir drone approached U.S. flagged tanker Stena Imperative. Reports USS McFall responded and escorted commercial vessel. Confirms de-escalation and safe passage. Statement is factual. No political commentary, no inflammatory language. Stena Imperative continues toward Bahrain. Tanker will arrive on schedule. Cargo will be delivered. Commercial operation successful despite harassment. By mid-morning, Stena Imperative is 40 nautical miles from Strait of Hormuz. USS McFall has reduced escort distance to 2 nautical miles. Destroyer maintains visual contact but allows tanker greater independence. Threat environment diminished. Mission transitions from active escort to overwatch. Persian Gulf is calm. Visibility exceeds 10 nautical miles. Surface wind, 8 knots from northwest. Sea state, 2 feet. Conditions ideal for maritime operations. Commercial shipping lanes crowded. Flow of global trade continues. A separate incident is reported. USS Abraham Lincoln, Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, operating in Arabian Sea. Iranian Shahed. 139 drone approaches carrier. Range, 8,000 yards. Altitude, 500 feet. Speed, 110 knots. Drone does not respond to radio warnings. Carrier air defense systems engage. Are IM-116 rolling airframe missile launches? Time to impact, 11 seconds. Iranian drone destroyed at 3,000 yards from USS Abraham Lincoln. Debris impacts sea. No damage to carrier, no personnel casualties. Same operational period as Strait of Hormuz encounter. 2 separate incidents. 2 Iranian provocations. 2 U.S. Navy responses. Both professional, both effective. Strait of Hormuz is 21 nautical miles wide at narrowest point. Approximately 20% of world's petroleum passes through this waterway daily. Liquefied natural gas, crude oil, refined products. Economic importance measured in trillions of dollars annually. Iran has threatened repeatedly to close strait. Threats are periodic. Capability is debated. Navy maintains strait will remain open. 5th Fleet operates from Bahrain. Carrier strike groups rotate through region. Destroyers patrol continuously. Encounter between Stena Imperative and Iranian gunboats is one of dozens occurring annually. Most not publicized. Most de-escalate without incident. Professional conduct of U.S. Navy crews prevents escalation. Documented presence of U.S. warships deters aggression. Stena Imperative crosses into Bahrain territorial waters. Tanker 8 nautical miles from Port Sitra. Commercial mission complete. USS McFall ends escort. Destroyer turns east, back toward open Gulf waters. Speed increases to 20 knots. Destroyer's crew secures from escort operations. Watch sections return to standard rotation. Engineering spaces conduct routine maintenance. Operational rhythm returns to normal. Encounter documented completely. After-action report will be filed within 24 hours. Lessons learned extracted. Tactical procedures reviewed. Iranian state media reports different version. Claims vessel intercepted after violating territorial waters. States Iranian naval forces conducted lawful inspection. Asserts vessel departed after complying with instructions. Narrative contradicts all documented evidence. GPS data confirms Stena Imperative remained in international waters throughout encounter. Marine traffic tracking data publicly available. Contradictory narratives expected. Factual record clear. Documentation complete. USS McFall's radar logs, radio recordings, video footage provide objective evidence. Encounters like this demonstrate importance of professional military response. USS McFall did not fire weapons, did not issue ultimatums, did not escalate confrontation. Destroyer simply positioned itself between threat and target, maintained barrier, demonstrated readiness. Presence alone altered tactical calculus. Iranian boats withdrew because cost of continued aggression exceeded benefit. This is operational model for freedom of navigation missions. Presence, professionalism, documentation. U.S. Navy does not seek confrontation, but Navy does not yield international waters to illegal demands. Balance maintained through disciplined response, through technical superiority, through unwavering commitment to mission. Encounter lasted 52 minutes from initial contact to Iranian withdrawal. Number weapons fired by any party. No vessels damaged, no personnel injured. Tanker continued mission, destroyer continued patrol. Outcome determined by position, capability, and will. Every emission logged, every maneuver recorded, every decision documented, data archived, lessons available for future tactical development. Professional execution by USS McFall's crew serves as model for similar encounters. At sea, control is not seized through aggression. It is demonstrated through the quiet certainty that comes from knowing exactly what capabilities exist and never needing to prove them unless absolutely necessary. Today, that capability was never in doubt. The freedom of navigation was maintained. The Strait of Hormuz remained open. The mission was successful. Subscribe to Falks for more